Zyuohger was preempted this week, so I don't have anything to say about them since there was no episode. Other just quick detail update things. Ultra Antigua reviews are coming to the end this Saturday for those who usually wait until all the videos are up to watch them. I know a few people who do that. Zyuohger reviews are beginning the editing. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Season 1 review is undergoing editing. I'll hopefully be able to get those done in the next week-ish for release in late July and August. Ghost. Well, we're finally on acquiring the Advanced Alliance of the Last Icon. I'm pretty sure, at least. He did the boost ones already, pretty much at their acquisition. He did Musashi, he did Edison, he did Newton, Newton was part of Himiko's, so, Actually, I don't remember him doing Billy the Kid, but, I could easily be blanking on that. Otherwise, he's done Spectres, and they just got done with Grimm, so at the end of this two-parter should have that dealt with. And thus, they're all at the advanced stage, so that's the last really story arc thing for the Icons, period, aside from whatever the hell they're doing with Mugen, because Mugen does not make sense. At all. At all. And it's a bit frustrating as we're finally getting filler episodes, because the show has pretty much burned out its story arc stuff, even though it hasn't really addressed much of the story arc at all. Despite most of the story focusing on the story arc. But yeah, the episode has the C plot. Well, technically the B and C plot. The B and C plots are both D plots due to how little they're given attention. Being how Aron finds he can't use the Hanzo icon at all, and this is not unexpected because he hasn't used it since he became human again. So, using it in battle like that, it's, very foolish. And I remember when, Makoto tried that. He tried it through multiple episodes before, despite having it for a while, and the reason he hadn't used it before that was because he knew it didn't work, except the situation was extreme enough to not warrant it. Thing is, we've had situations that are not extreme enough to, that would warrant him just switching to it on the fly, except he's not used it at all in those situations to previously be aware that it didn't work. You really could not have set this up? I mean, we get that, the Grimm icon only worked, once, Alran was recognized it earlier in the series with him actually trying to save Akari during the period where we weren't sure if he was a hero or a villain before they pretty much just bum-rushed a character development thing that wasn't really justified by the story events, because that is how Ghost rolls. So, you would expect them to have figured out that Hanzo for Kim is locked as well. So, Hanzo possesses Koyomi. Yes, Koyomi from Wizard, her actress, is guest starring in this episode. To pretty much just suck Aran into itself, where it's challenged by the, 3 monkey ninja things. I forget what they're called, apologies. As a show of strength and resolve. Problem is, you already did this, with him overcoming the limits of the Necrom icon previously. Disabling its weakness by sheer force of will and strength to get it to evolve and imprint your soul a bit onto it. So, you already did this. And this is not the first time Ghost has pulled this crap. With repeating a same arc for a character and saying that it's new material. The only thing we know that's coming from it is Necrom's own version of the Gon hand. Yes, they're making another palette swap toy on top of the Deep Slasher. Because Bandai is hurting for money from this show. And, the really big thing that is you're not going to sell many things if the merchandising overwhelms the story and the story itself is not very good. Go figure. It's like when you advertise a series as solely merchandise sale. If you make a series whose only intent is to sell merchandise, which the tokusatsu genre was not originally intended to be, and most series in it do not pander to that even when they have a lot of merchandise part of them, you end up getting problems with your stories. I lost track of my train of thought, but that's how these vlogs roll in the first place. The B plot is with Kanan discovering Makoto stalking her in Gamma World clothing, except it's not Makoto. That's pretty much all of his subplot. Whereas the Takeru main plot is the woman played by Koyomi's actress, gaining the ability to be telepathic out of literally the fuck nowhere. Seriously, they have no explanation for this at all, and I don't think there was intent to get an explanation aside from just paralleling Takeru's out the fuck of nowhere ability. I'll be right back. Telemarketers. And yes, like in my videos, I do have the Fi's ringtone as my actual ringtone. Where was I? Yeah, Koyomi has gained the ability to read people's minds. Because I really hope they explain that in the next episode, because otherwise it will just be another citation of this show's inability to explain what the fuck is going on in it. But, because of that, it's revealed that this is another Deep Connect thing, so maybe it's flaw in however Igor is adapting that system due to his other more direct plots not working. Like last week, he had the not last week. The last two episodes, he had the Dream Connect system, and maybe this is just Mental Connect synchronicity and whatnot. Now, I know that I love that Thane Camus is still getting a work and a recurring guest role in this with the whole Deep Connect possession subplot. But as I keep saying, the focus should be on the Gunmisers. The focus should now be on the Ganma world, because you got the last power-up, everybody is pretty much as strong as they can be, the bullshit they keep pulling with Necrom notwithstanding, especially since there's nothing developmental that's been coming from it, because, you know, they plateaued pretty low with Aaron in the meandering characterness of it, and that's pretty much every character aside from Takeru at this point. So, my question is, why did you not deal with that when you were meandering about this before? I mean, like I said, I like Thane Camus, I like seeing him getting work, but it really feels like we should be done with this side plot already. We should have been done with this side plot when the character was introduced in the teens. And it's like, it's a failure to properly address the arc, because they, like, shoved all the Gamma World stuff together when it didn't make sense to do that, just to get to the power-up, but then that served to be useless, and it really seems like, even though with the pacing of how much they've rushed to that, they've wasted so much time. But yeah, somehow Deep Connect is connected to, Idol Group, and I guess that makes sense considering the number of idol singers in Japan, the whole agency system, that I guess it's publicity and whatnot. But the thing is that Igor doesn't get music, so it doesn't make sense for him to have a plot with these idols, because of how he treated the was it Beethoven or no, but Beethoven is the icon, Mozart was the Ganma. The Mozart Gamma, and how its musical pieces for Igor's thing were so rejected, and a admission from them that he didn't understand the passion of music. So it doesn't make sense for his plan to be focused around these idols at all, unless this is like a plan brought forth from the Ganma that's still possessing Thane Camus. And okay, it's been occurring within that 100-day window. The show has only said it's been around 70 days since Takeru last got revived, so it's not like that they are possessed for 100 days and then they become a Gamma host permanently thing. Though considering how much of the narrative stuff from early Ghost has been discarded, it wouldn't be surprised if that has been completely forgotten. So yeah, Takeru spends most of the episode trying to help Koyomi deal with the lost friendship and life goals she and her friends had of being idols, and how they've suddenly, through her learning to use telepathy, gaining the ability to have telepathy, how all of her friends suddenly hate her or are spiteful behind her back and don't voice their real intentions. And, you know, this is why you don't want to use telepathy on people, because there's a difference between person's actual personal thoughts and what they act upon. It's like, yeah, they're going to break up eventually if there's actually a lack of camaraderie between the idol group. But, you know, there's with that difference between the two, as they're not acting upon it, it's like they're being professional, and, you know, it's like, it's also not Koyomi actress's fault for learning that, but that she's running away from it instead of, like, trying to mediate, talk it out, deal with it upon learning this. It's, like, frustrating. And I'm betting it's going to just be revealed that the others are possessed by Ganma icons, because, of course, that is how the series seems to roll with some of this stuff. I should also say we got another Gunmiser immediately. Gunmiser Wind, Gunmiser Hurricane. It's a wind elemental themed one that just showed up at the beginning of the episode because that's how Ghost rolls with its multiple action scenes. At least I gotta say this is the best one they've dealt with in a while, simply because you get it out of the way early so you can actually focus on the rest of the plot instead of it disrupting whatever potential story or rushing through it. This actually seems like the most appropriate Gunmiser introduction thing they've had in quite a while. So, it's meh for Ghost. It's not good. It's not the depths we've been plunging through before. Like I said, so there's no Zyuohger, there's no point in me talking about that, but Makai Retsuden this week was focused on Tsubasa and Jabi, who were... Jabi's from the original series. She was Koga's Makai priest friend. I talked about her in the the original series review and the movie review, the first one, the two-part first one. And that one also featured the Makai Knight Tsubasa, the one with the staff and that converts into a spear and is... I'm forgetting the identity of his Makai Knight armor, because, to my knowledge, he only appears in that. I still have to watch Makai's 90 to see if he appears there. But, yeah, it's 10 years on from when he first came onto the series in that movie of his. Not movie of his, the movie where... Yeah. And pretty much here he's out of his district searching for a friend of his, and of course being baffled by the big city because he's always lived in the country. And, you know, that serves as half of the story plot. Him running into weird people that he thinks are horrors, which I would be more inclined to like this if not for the previous episode with the new Makai priest in training, pretty much dealing with that exact same subplot in how he kept interacting with people to see if they were good or bad people at heart due to the viewing into the soul. Tsubasa at least has the different divergence of him not understanding how weird city life would be. For example, he encounters someone with all body piercings, including ones on the tongue, and it's like when I saw that, I just literally turned my head and had a minor freak out because I don't do that kind of body horror stuff. And the other one he thought was a horror was a Ganguro girl. Yeah, well, he's not wrong, but this is not the horror you were seeking. But yeah, wrapped up in all this is Jabi trying to pretty much get inside his head with why he left so abruptly. And, I kind of would... with the whole Jabi thing from the movie and how they resolved it, it makes sense for them to still be standoffish towards each other, but I would have expected, Tsubasa's younger sister to be shown to be a full Makai priestess at this point, and actually worrying after him because of his obsession with finding his friend. His friend being someone who tried to become a Makai Knight at the same time as him, but quit the order due to injuries he suffered, I believe he said through training, despite Tsubasa never actually being able to beat the guy before. Well, it turns out, he was turned into a horror, and pretty much Tsubasa felt it was his duty to, free his soul from the taint of the horror and all that, and pretty much just see if he still had a knight spirit within him, which he did, apparently, when Tsubasa found and took care of him. Pretty much not much there. It's just, honestly, through the entire pace of it, it felt more like the whole Tsubasa is a jerk thing that I kind of railed on in the review of the movie with him. Throughout the episode, when he's wandering around the city, he's asking people about, the person he's searching for, and it's like, he acts really jerky, like, even beating up an old man that doesn't like his tone of voice, and it's like, it's hard to get, even with a character you've seen before, it's hard to root for the guy who beats up people for no reason. Zyuohger and the Zyuohger arc will be back next week, so hopefully I will have some more things to say about it, because Zyuohger right now has been doing really good. And not just in fan reception, the show's ratings are up, the show's sales are up, both from Ninja. It's pretty much staying the course so far. It's still the low ratings of the post-Gokaiger seasons, but people have tabulated the average episode levels, and it's back up to what we were seeing with Go Busters versus the lower stuff with Kyoryuger onwards. Hopefully that means people are getting interested back in the show, but it's too soon to tell on that stuff at the moment. That's all I got this week, so I will see everyone next time.